This was going to be a realistic week in my life as a booktuber, not a romanticized week. Does this job sustain you financially? I do have to expose myself here and let you know that this is not actually a mic. Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday morning. It's actually quite early. You can probably hear it a little bit in my voice. I still have a little bit of morning voice right now, but we are doing another realistic week of being a booktuber in today's video. I noticed you guys really actually loved the last time I did this, and I also noticed from that video you guys had a lot of really good questions just about like everything, like what it is to be a booktuber, what equipment I use, my process of things, what I use to edit, stuff like that. And so we're gonna spend a week together, and throughout the week I will be answering a lot of your questions, and yeah, we're gonna have a nice, cozy, but also productive week. Now, it is Tuesday, as I mentioned, and I normally would have started this yesterday on Monday to like encapsulate a full work week in my life, but yesterday was actually a really heavy filming day for me, so like I only have one camera. I guess I have my phone as a secondary camera, but I only have like one nice camera, you know what I mean? And so my camera was very busy yesterday, so I didn't really have capacity to use it to vlog as well. But yesterday, just to catch you up, I did film 2 videos. I finished one reading vlog. It was another episode of my finishing series. So I did that, and then I also filmed a sit-down video where I ranked all of the fantasy books I've read this year so far according to Magic System. Just a fun twist on like going through the fantasies I've read. And then I spent like 2-ish hours editing a little bit of the reading series vlog because I need to get that one out. So that was yesterday. And then over to the plan for today. It is currently 7:42 a.m. This is earlier than, you know, what I'm used to in terms of sitting down at my desk and starting work. I usually do start at 9 and try to keep my work hours at a 9 to 5 just to keep structure in my life. But we're starting a little bit early today because I actually have therapy today at 9. Yeah, I have that in about an hour. And so I just want to plop down here at my desk and start work a little bit earlier today. Now, plans for today as we get our devices turned on. Today is actually a podcast filming day. Usually do Mondays, but sometimes like our schedules conflict, and so we have to obviously like switch to another day. So today we're doing podcast Tuesdays. And for those of you curious, because obviously Freya and I are on opposite sides of the world, we always film at 6 p.m. my time and 8 a.m. her time, which like go Freya for being such a trooper and waking up early in the morning and just being alert and awake at that hour to record an entire podcast. Like that must take so much energy. I did originally offer like a little bit later, like 7 p.m. my time, so 9 a.m. her time, but she was just like, you know what? I'm a morning person. I love just waking up, getting it done, and like, you know, getting started with my day. So I was like, okay, go you. Love that for you. So for those of you curious, that is when we do our podcasts. But on podcast days, I need to obviously charge all of my equipment because filming for that long drains all of your battery power on like a lot of devices. So for the podcast, I have to make sure my battery camera is fully charged, my microphone is fully charged, and also my AirPods. And then also because all my devices will be charging on podcast days, I like to plan my schedule so I have a lot of editing to do on a podcast day. So that's why I filmed a lot yesterday, so I have material to edit today. This is my reading series vlog. I've currently edited 18-ish minutes of it so far, and it's probably going to end up being around like a 30, maybe even a 35-minute video. This one seems to be pretty long, so there's probably like, I don't know, 2 hours of editing remaining for this one to do, but that's what we're gonna start doing. For your questions of what editor I do use DaVinci Resolve, which is an amazing editing software. If you want to learn how to edit, this one is amazing because first of all, you can get a free version of this program. Like they do offer a free version, and that free version will cover basically almost everything you need. I did upgrade to the paid version, which you only pay for once. I think it was about $300 for the software, but I just upgraded because I like using like more of the advanced tools, but you really don't need it. I was honestly living off of the free version of this editing software for like 5 years and I didn't need anything extra. So if you want to get into editing, I would highly recommend DaVinci Resolve. It can be both very easy to pick up as a beginner, but then also it does have more advanced tools if you want to like get deeper into things. But yeah, this is my vlog so far. I'm going to continue editing. I am phone vlogging right now because I have my camera and everything set up for the podcast, so I don't want to touch anything. But I've just been editing literally all day. I got home from therapy at like 10 a.m. and I have just been seated literally until now. It is 5:27 p.m. I managed to finish editing both the videos that I wanted to, so that is absolutely wonderful. I scheduled one up to publish, so that one's done with a title and a thumbnail and everything, but the second one I just exported the video. I haven't uploaded it yet or done the thumbnail, so that will be tomorrow morning. But I am done editing for today. I've just set up for the podcast, so I just wanted to show you what my setup looks like. So yeah, this is the setup. So I have my camera here set up. I always have my laptop in front of me. Obviously we have to do our podcast over video chat because we are on opposite sides of the world. So I usually have our video chat on the left side of my screen, and then any like episode notes will be on the right side of the screen. This is honestly the most scripted episode we've ever done, but because we're doing our Way of Kings deep dive today, we just wanted to make sure we didn't like miss anything because there's so many details, obviously. And then right in front of me is my little pink mic, which I think is absolutely adorable. But yeah, while I'm podcasting, this is what I see. There we go. There's a good POV. I have my AirPods ready. I'll put those in for when we start recording as well. And beside me, I actually have Golden Girl. That is just my current read. And I have The Way of Kings just in case I need to look inside and refer back to, I don't know, some text or whatever. But yeah, I kind of set up a little bit early today, to be honest, because I just finished editing. And so yeah, now I'm just gonna chill out until 6, and we usually take around an hour and a half-ish to record our episodes. So there we have it. Good morning. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so tired by the end of the day yesterday. I think it was a combination of waking up early so I could start the day earlier because I had the therapy session, and then doing like literally 8 hours straight of editing and then recording a podcast in the evening. Yesterday took a lot out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I just spent the last hour of the day playing The Witcher. It's been something I've been doing in the evenings, just something that's like not book related, but also like scratches that fantasy itch in me. I've been loving like playing fantasy games. Yeah, I'm really enjoying The Witcher. I'm actually wondering now like if I should read the book The Witcher, because obviously the game is based on the book. I don't know if you've played The Witcher or if you've like read the Witcher book, let me know if the book is good. But it is Wednesday. Plan for today is I need to do the thumbnail and upload that magic system video that I finished editing yesterday. I also wanted to get started on editing the podcast episode we recorded last night, but because our episodes are so long, camera files are huge, and it takes Freya like so long to upload like her side, like her clips for the podcast. Last night when she was going to bed, she sent me a text and said it was 89% finished. So it was so close, it almost made it, but that's okay. I can start lining up like my side, like my bits, and then once I get her clips, I will get into like the bulk of the editing. I might take some time to answer some of your booktube questions. I did ask you guys yesterday on Instagram to send me any questions you had about what it's like to be a booktuber. I got a lot of good questions from you guys, so we might go over some of that today, and I'll also like start editing this video. I always like to edit vlogs like as I'm going, so I can like first so I can see like the shape the vlog is taking, and then also so it's not like a giant thing to edit at the end after I'm done filming. That's what I'll start with today. We'll see how much time that takes, and then probably by the end of the day I'll have some time remaining. We will figure out what to do then. Today has been a literal nightmare, you guys, a literal nightmare. I did manage to get the work I wanted done from this morning, but it's 1:41, and ever since literally 9 a.m. this morning, the fire alarm has been going off like literally every 20 seconds for like 5 beeps, and it's so loud. It's because it's like fire alarm inspection day or whatever. But yeah, my head like hurts from all the noise, and I just feel so exhausted from hearing the fire alarm go off all morning. But yeah, it's like around 1:45 now, so I'm hoping they've finished. Also, I feel so bad for my cats. They've just been like hiding all day because obviously like the noise hurts us as humans, but as cats, like that is terrifying, and their hearing is so much more sensitive than ours, and I'm sure like their ears, their poor little ears, are in so much pain, and I feel so bad. But the fire alarm has been off for like at least 10 minutes now, so I'm hoping it's done for the day. Like I'm hoping this is it and it's just done. I hope they're not just on lunch break and they're gonna like come back later, because oh my gosh, I could barely even like hear what I was editing. Like I had headphones in, but like I could hear, like all I could hear was like the like all day. I thought now would be a good time to go over some of your questions and answer as many of them as I can. So one of the questions that popped up the most from you guys was variations of like, do you force yourself to read now, or does it still feel like a hobby? Or like, do I feel pressured to read now that it's my job? Or do I feel pressured to read a certain amount of books a month? So we'll start with this. I think it's a pretty good topic. So in terms of like, do I force myself to read now, or does it still feel like a hobby? I think it's a mix of both. Like I still absolutely love reading, but I do feel a certain pressure to like keep a pace. And it's not like, oh, I need to read 13 books a month to be like a good reader. It's more like I need to read 13 books a month to have enough to talk to you guys about, because every month I try to do at least 2 reading vlogs, maybe 3. And for the most part for reading vlogs, I do read 3 books per reading vlog. So if I'm doing 3 reading vlogs per month, that's already 9 books that month. And then on top of that, because I do monthly reading wrap-ups as well, I kind of like, I don't want to just talk about the books that you've already seen me read in reading vlogs. I just feel like the reading wrap-ups would be pointless if I didn't have like other books to include in there. So if I'm reading 9 books a month for reading vlogs, I want to read at least like 3 or 4 more just on my own time that I can also include in my reading wrap-ups at the end of the month. So if you are that lovely person who has watched all of my reading vlogs throughout the month, you will still be able to get something out of my reading wrap-ups, like something new. But I was feeling that pressure as well even before I was doing YouTube full-time, just to get that like content out, you know, like to have enough for you. So reading is sitting on this weird line for me right now where it is a hobby still. It does still feel like a hobby, but it also is a job at the same time. Another popular question was about finances. So things like, does this job sustain you financially? I took a gigantic pay cut when I decided to try YouTube full time. I don't want to disclose what my like salary was when I was working a job, but I was making a decent amount. And at the time, my YouTube income was 1/3 of the income of my full-time job. And so obviously I am making much less money now than I was before. I'm actually currently making just enough to sustain myself. So it is sustainable short term, I would say, but definitely not long term. I'm currently at a point where all of the money I'm making is going towards things like my mortgage, living expenses, like bills, food, etc. And I barely have enough money to like spend, like to buy things, like to go out for a meal or whatever, or buy books. And I'm not able to like build my savings right now on a YouTube income, where previously when I had a job, I was obviously, you know, like building up my personal savings and investments and all of that boring stuff. So I would say short term, it's sustainable right now if you're looking at just like day-to-day expenses. But in terms of doing this long term, if I don't start like trying to figure out how to make more money off of social media, no, this is not sustainable, because on this income, I would never be able to like start a family. I would never be able to save for retirement and stuff like that. So it's not really sustainable right now, long term, but it's sustainable enough that I felt like it was time to like trust myself, make the leap, sacrifice a little bit short term, and then hopefully if I see signs of like growth with YouTube, with my channel, with whatever, like with the podcast and stuff, then we can see if it's really realistic to be able to do this long term for like years and years and years. So currently I'm just evaluating like month to month. But yeah, at this point, if I'm going on like this for like a year and nothing changes and I don't start making more off of YouTube, I'm gonna have to go back to work. This one's an interesting question too. You guys came up with some good questions. How is your family reacting now that reading is basically your job? They have been supportive. Like, they've never said anything like negative about me being on social media. I feel like, well, at least I hope that they just kind of trust me at this point. I've always been very reliable growing up. Like, honestly, that's so boring, but I'm like the most boring person ever. You guys probably, like, you must know this by now. I'm so boring. I'm so reliable. I'm so like stable, follow the rules to a T. And so I've never like caused concern for them to be worried about me. So I think they know that like at this point, like me being able to make this decision and to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this full time, like they trust in me that I've like thought of all the possible outcomes. And also Huffy, he's also my #1 fan. He watches every single one of my videos, or at least like he watches them in like 3 times speed sometimes, because he like doesn't know the books I'm talking about, but he just likes to see me on his screen. And he's actually been like one to encourage me to do this, to take this leap of faith. He was encouraging me to do this before I was even ready to do this. So yeah, everyone's very supportive. I want to create book content. How do you manage to have courage to create and post? And I also got a couple other ones, like how do you get comfortable in front of the camera? How do you do this as an introvert? Honestly, practice over time. The first video you ever post will not be good. I guarantee you that. The first video I posted is not even public anymore because I'm just not happy with the quality of it anymore. So I recently unlisted a lot of my old videos, to be honest, but like I have to be grateful for those videos because those videos are what helped build to like where we are today. You're never gonna know if you're good at something or not unless you just try it. And yeah, I will look back at those old videos and I will be like, what the heck was I doing? Like, why was I so bad at talking on camera? You just have to do it. And like, honestly, you get so used to it. I like don't even feel the presence of the camera anymore. Like I turn on the camera and I'm just like, hey guys, like I'm talking to you guys. Like you guys are my friends. And also like when I turn on the camera and like film myself reading, I think like when I first, there's a cat hair in my eye. When I first started filming reading vlogs, I remember feeling like a little weird, like reading with a camera on me. Like I could just feel the recording energy, and it was hard for me to like read, like actually read when the camera was on. But now I can turn the camera on, read a book, get immersed, and I forget that I'm recording sometimes. So I honestly, like sometimes when I'm recording for a reading vlog, I'll just like have a clip like running for like 10 minutes before I remember like, oh, I should turn my camera off, because I've just been recording myself sitting here doing nothing, just flipping pages for 10 minutes, and I don't need all of that footage. And honestly, as an introvert, talking on camera is such a different experience compared to talking to someone in person. It's different from making conversation. Like you're just kind of talking to yourself. I don't know if I have like an explanation as to why. That's just how I feel. So try it out for yourself. You might surprise yourself, and good luck. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for all the introverts. Okay, we have another financial type of question. So main sources of income, collabs, or ads. So on YouTube, there is an AdSense program, of course. So that is definitely like one of the probably more stable forms of income, where you know every month on the 21st of every month, you will be getting your AdSense income, like AdSense paycheck. Obviously, it does fluctuate quite a bit depending on how many views that you got in that past month. And then of course, there are brand deals. I would say like brand deals, when you can get them, pay a lot more than AdSense does, but I don't get brand deals all the time. You know, like sometimes honestly I'll go like an entire month long without doing a brand deal, and I think that's like part of the reason for that is that I am kind of picky as to like what brand deals I do, because obviously I don't want to be promoting a brand that I don't believe in, or I don't even use the product and stuff like that. So like the ratio of brands like approaching me versus the amount of brands I actually agree to do a sponsorship with is very low. I feel like I reject a lot, but certain things like book of the month, stuff like that I actually like use myself a lot, I am like so more than happy to do brand deals like that. So I think for most content creators, brand deals is like the main source of income, but for me it's AdSense because I don't actually do that many brand deals. And I think I got another question that was like, do you make money off Instagram? I personally don't. I don't know how anyone would make money off Instagram. I think people in the States, like there's the TikTok Creator Fund for US citizens only, and maybe there's something on Instagram, but for me in Canada, no, I don't get anything. Instagram posts are always free, TikToks are always free unless they're sponsored. So unless a brand has paid me to talk about whatever they want me to promote, that's paid, but it's not paid through Instagram, it's paid through the brand. So yeah, for the most part, no, I don't get paid through Instagram or TikTok. Those are just kind of for fun things that I do. Oh yeah, and I got another question about brand deals and how I get brand deals. So I think some other people may be more proactive at like reaching out to brands they want to work with and negotiating brand deals. I don't do that, you guys. I'm never one to like schmooze and like network and stuff. That is like so not me, which is maybe a little bit of a detriment to the fact that I'm trying to do social media full time, because that's like a big part of the job. I do now, these days, I do have a brand management team. I didn't used to work with them. I've only started working with a team like around a year ago, but there were years I was on YouTube and I did everything by myself. But basically what the brand management team does for me is like they go through my inbox. So any brands that reach out to me, they will just do like kind of the initial negotiating, getting the information from them, and then they'll send me like kind of this like short form thing, like, oh, this brand wants to work with you, this would be the rate for one integrated video, do you want to do it? And then I would say yes or no, and so that's how I get brand deals. I don't really do like outreach, I just wait for people to come to me. So I'm maybe not the best person to ask about that. We got a couple questions about ARCs as well. So how many ARCs do I or others get per month? Do I read every single one? And then also, can you give any ratings to ARCs, or are you expected to rate highly? This is something else that really differs per month. I don't get like 5 ARCs per month or something like that. It just depends on the season. I do have contacts at various publishers, so kind of through like every season the publishers will send me an email of like, oh, these are our arcs we can send out in this next season, let us know which ones you want, and then I'll let them know which ones I want, but it's never like confirmed like which ones I'm gonna get, and they never actually confirm through email which ones I'm gonna get, so it's kind of a surprise when they show up. Sometimes I'll get all the ones I requested, sometimes I'll only get one of the ones I requested. It really differs like every single time, and I definitely try to read every single one, and I think like I do read every single one that I've requested, but there are also sometimes publishers will send me arcs that I never requested, like I never even asked for them, and sometimes when that's the case, I don't read them. And I have done unhauls for those, like whether I pass them on to friends or if I hand them out to little free libraries. So yeah, there definitely have been some arcs that I have not read, but every arc that I request, I do read. And then in terms of rating, no, they don't request you or expect you to rate like a 5-star for every arc you receive. That would be very sneaky of them, and like obviously would reflect poorly upon the publisher, like as a business. We are always encouraged to give honest reviews, and that's what we do. So there have been arcs I've received that I've loved and rated very highly, and there also have been arcs I've received that I did not like and have rated poorly. So yeah, no expectations, they just want a review. Can you show us how you make your thumbnails? So I use Pixelmator Pro. I think I just showed you a couple clips of me making one in particular, but yeah, I use Pixelmator Pro. It's just a cheaper version of using Photoshop. I used to use Photoshop, but everything Adobe is so expensive, you guys, and I hate subscription services. So Pixelmator Pro is like a more basic Photoshop copycat that you can just buy once and you have it forever. It was like 20 bucks when I bought it, but I use that to make my thumbnails. I usually like crop myself out so I can put text behind me. I tend to blur the background a little bit and then add whatever text I want to it. How do you make your channel stand out against so many other booktube channels? I don't know. I honestly don't think I do stand out, because again, I'm like a very basic person and I've accepted that about myself. But at the end of the day, you just have to act as yourself. I think what I've seen out there is a lot of copycats, like people tend to imitate other people's styles or like talk like someone else, or you know, stuff like that. Lots of like little copying things, and that'll always happen to some extent. Like in terms of trends, let's say, you'll probably notice a lot of booktubers will like read the same book at the same time because it's trending. But in terms of your personality, like just be yourself, just be genuine, and that will hopefully stand out, unless you're very basic like me. I don't know what stands out about myself, so you tell me, why are you here watching this? This one's not truly related to this video, but how many books do you have now on your TBR? I actually counted the other day because I was curious, and I know know I haven't been doing TBR takedowns in a while. I need to get back to it, but I'm at 53 now. I'm down to 53. So from our goal from 101, we're now down to 53. The goal was 35, so we're making our way. How long does it usually take you to edit? Usually anywhere between 3 to 6 hours to edit a video, depending on the video. TBR videos are the quickest to edit for whatever reason. Reading vlogs take very, very long, and also reading wrap-ups take very, very long. So those ones could go up to like 6 hours to edit one video. How do you plan and schedule your videos? I actually keep a very chaotic note in my phone that's just called video schedule or video ideas, and it's not organized at all. I will have like it broken out into months sort of, but I'll just kind of blurt out all the ideas I want to do that month. And I tend to, like, for every month I'll put like 15 ideas, but I'll obviously only be able to get to 8 of them because I'm posting twice a week. But it's nice to have more than 8 ideas a month, because if I'm not like in the mood to film that video, if I'm not inspired by that idea at that moment in time, I can pick another idea. And then if I don't use that idea, I'll just like keep pushing things down. I'll be like, okay, I didn't do that in August, I'll do it in September. And if I don't get to it in September, I'll get to it in October. But I don't like plan like to the day, like what I'm gonna film. Like next week, I don't have my entire week planned. It's just kind of like, I will take things as they go, keep my creative juices flowing, and I sort of plan maybe like a few days in advance of what I'm gonna do. Favorite type of video to film or make? TBR videos. TBR videos for sure. I love them. I think they're so exciting to see like what books you're gonna read the next month. They're also like just the element of surprise with the TBR jar as well. Like I genuinely have so much fun picking my TBRs every month, and I think you guys love those videos as well. But okay, that was a lovely Q&A. I think I'm actually going to read for the rest of the day because I'm just my brain is so confuzzled after all those fire alarms this morning. And I've also edited everything that I wanted to edit today. So yeah, reading time. It's 3:30 p.m. We're gonna take a little editing break and we're gonna run through all of the equipment I use as a booktuber, because I got a lot of questions about this on my last video. So we're gonna do a full run through of everything I use to make my YouTube videos. I'm also going to, just in case it's useful, I'm gonna try and figure out if I can make one of those like Amazon storefronts or whatever and put that link in the video description below if you want like direct links to products to make stuff easier. So I'm gonna try and figure that out. If I manage, if I succeed in doing it, I will have the link in the description box below that you can use. It'll likely be like one of those affiliate links if I do manage to set it up. So let's go through it all. First of all, I'm gonna have to use my phone to give you a point of view because I'm using my camera to film, but the camera I use looks like this. It's the Sony ZV-E10. I absolutely love it. I think the quality is amazing on it, and yeah, I'm just really happy with it. I did get the white camera body just because I felt cute, but it does come in like black as well. And then I have this lens that I bought for it as well. This is the Sigma 16mm lens. It's just a better lens than the one the camera came with. And then this little box on top of my camera is my little audio box. So it actually connects to this little thing that I'm holding. This is the little DJI portable mic. I don't think it's the mini mic because there's one that is smaller than this now. But yeah, it is the DJI portable mic, and the little box that sits on top of my camera is like the receiver. So the audio goes from here over to there. And then we have a bunch of tripods. So we obviously have, hold on, gotta film on the phone again. We obviously have this one that you guys are standing on right now. This is my big tripod. It goes from like about this tall to, it'll go like to taller than me. I think it goes up to like 6 feet. So very tall tripod, very sturdy. This is from the brand Small Rig, and this is the one I normally use, but I also have a mini tripod that I can like sit up just on top of my desk, or if I need like a shot that's a bit lower or something, I can use this little small one. This is also from the brand Small Rig. So same brand, just a different, like a smaller model. And then I also have this for a tripod. This I've had for so many years, so I don't really use it anymore because, to be honest, my camera now with the new lens, like the heavier lens, doesn't really work with this tripod. This tripod's a little bit too lightweight, but this lasted me for years. I used it so much. But this is the Ulanzi little tripod, and it'll just poke out like this, and you can pull it up higher if you so need to. So those are my tripods. Oh, and then I have this little mini phone tripod actually. So this is from the brand called Moft. So easy to use. It's MagSafe. So I have my phone. It just magnetizes back, like onto the back of the phone, and you can just fold it out like this and poke the little bottom out like this. It's hard to do this while I'm holding the microphone, but you can stand it up like this. So it's just like a little phone tripod, or you can even just use it like this and stand your phone up like this if you're filming, like, I don't know, TikToks or Reels or whatever. And you can also use it horizontal like this if you want to film something horizontal using your phone. Also, honestly works great in those instances where you're like watching a video or like Netflix or something on your phone and you just want to like stand it up instead of having it flat on your table. I have this is just my camera battery charger. I got like a different charger where you can charge 2 batteries at the same time, and I also just got 3 spare batteries for my camera. So when my camera dies, I'll have like other batteries as backup. I have this light. This is from the brand Hanamo. I honestly don't really use this that much. It's just kind of for emergency. I generally do prefer filming when there's natural light outside, so I don't really need to use this one. But in those instances, like, I don't know, let's say in 24-hour readathons and stuff, when I have to film at night and use a light, this one works. Whoa, that is bright. Sorry if this is blinding you, but this one's pretty good because you can make it lighter or darker, and you can also change like the temperature of it. So you could do like warm light, cool light. It's probably so rude of me shining a light in your face, but let's say like I put it like this where the camera is, it would look something like that. And I like how you can like alter the strength of it and the temperature of it, so you can like match what vibe you want. But yeah, I don't actually use this that much, but I have it. And for our last little piece of equipment, we're gonna look at, these are new to my collection. This is obviously more for podcasting, but I have been using these for like more sit down chatty videos as well. I know you guys have noticed, I just posted a video this week actually where I premiered this for the first time, and a lot of you commented on it and you're like, wow, I love the new cute pink mic. And so thank you for the love on the pink mic, but I do have to expose myself here and let you know that this is not actually a mic. It's a fake microphone, but it's actually a holder that you can put your little mini mics on. So I take my little mini mic that I already have. This is the same mic I've been using for all of my videos, and I just slide it. See how it's on the stick? I'm exposing all my secrets for you guys right now. So first of all, yeah, it just gives you a little stick to hold, and then this little thing just pops on top, and you can just use it as a mic. And I honestly think that this little foam thing on top makes the audio sound better in general as well. But yeah, this secret's out. This is not actually a new mic. It is just a new holder for the mic I already had. But I think it's an improvement either way, because then I can be more hands-free when I'm doing chatty videos. Sometimes I do feel a little dinky just like holding the microphone. You know what I mean? Like, I like it. I like the audio quality of it, but sometimes I just feel a little strange. And like, the problem is when I clip the microphone on, because you guys obviously have seen, I can clip that one on, I find the sound is just a little muffled, because then like my chin and everything is in the way from like my mouth to the microphone. So it doesn't sound as good when I clip it on, but obviously I do that when I'm doing like more hands-on videos, like TBR videos where I need to be grabbing things. I do like clip it for those, but I think it sounds better when it's like right up to your mouth, you know? And this is just a cuter way of doing that. And then this is a microphone arm. So this side of it, this end will attach to my desk, and then I just like screw that little, like this part, I just screw it to like tighten it to my desk. And on this side, this is where the microphone goes. So I can just slide it in like that, and then this arm thing like bends whichever direction you want. So you can like bend it to whatever angle you need. So if the end is like on my desk, it'll look like this. But yeah, that's all of my equipment, I think. that's at least like everything, like all the main stuff I use. Obviously there's like chargers and cables and like SD cards and stuff for everything, but yeah, I will try to link all of these below. So if you want to purchase anything, if you like what you see, you can do that. You can also just look them up as well. You don't have to purchase them through me, but thought I would just try to help. But yeah, it's 3:42 right now. I've been editing since 9 a.m. Usually the podcast episodes take me like 2 to 3 hours to edit, but this one was the Way of Kings one, and there was just like a lot. It was a really long episode, so it took me a long time, and I also made like the thumbnail and the short or the reel for it as well. So I just finished that. Podcast episode is uploaded, and so I'm gonna continue to edit this video now for the rest of the day until 5 p.m. and that'll be our day. Okay, we've done a little bit of damage today. It is Friday, and in this past month, just in August, Huffy actually gets like summer Fridays at his job. I think a lot of companies do this, where you get like the day off on Friday, or at least like half the day off. So I've kind of been following just like his work schedule. I've been making my work schedule parallel his. So for the past few weeks, I've been taking it a little bit easier on Fridays. So this morning, as you saw, I did go to the bookstore and I did pick up a couple books. The first book I got is The Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Of course, I'm really excited to get into this, especially seeing that it is the highest rated book on Goodreads. Literally everyone who talks about the series says this book is like by far the best book. And then I also just picked up Oathbringer as well, just to like round out the trio. I know there's 5 books in the Stormlight Archive so far, but I feel like just having the first 3 is a good place to be. So I got Oathbringer as well. I picked up Warbreaker because I was talking to Freya on the podcast actually. She mentioned that a lot of people were telling her that you need to read Warbreaker before reading the next book in the Stormlight Archive, or it's like in general it's just better to read this one before hopping into the Stormlight series. So I don't know, that's what I heard, that's what Freya told me, that's what people told Freya, and I'm going with it. So I think before I jump into Words of Radiance, I should read this one first. I also picked up Oathbringer and I also picked up Morningstar, just to, I don't know, round out trios, as I mentioned. I know there's more that come after this, but I think these first 3 are like their own complete trilogy kind of, and then the next books are sort of like a spin-off. That was my little book haul from today. I am going to do just a little bit of work today, but fun work. I don't want to edit today. I feel like I have been sitting literally for like 4 days straight at my desk editing, and I don't want to edit today. So anything I still have to edit, I'm gonna just do on Monday. But I do want to film my TBR video for September, and so that's what I'm gonna do as my last productive task for the week. So let's get my TBR carton set up. All right, just gonna wheel her over. Generally do something like this. Great, we have our framing. I'm gonna do a thumbnail, I'm gonna film my TBR, and that'll be it for the rest of today. Actually, I need to load these books onto here. Okay, I'm gonna film now, but yeah, that being said, my camera's gonna be busy filming my TBR, so I am going to leave you guys here for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed following me this week as I just sat at my desk and edited for the entire week. I did tell you that this was gonna be a realistic week in my life as a booktuber, not a romanticized week as a booktuber. This is what it really looks like. That's it for now. If you did like this video, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, I don't know, let me know if you have any more questions about being a booktuber. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!